Do you ever feel overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do and juggle and keep track of in your marketing? The one thing that we all have in common as business owners, no matter what kind of business we have, no matter what our structure is, that we all have a lot on our plate and we all have a lot going on all at the same time. Today, I want to share some resources that I use that help me stay organized in my business, and hopefully they'll help you stay organized too. And as a quick reminder, none of these are sponsored. These are all tools that I use. Most of them should have a free level or they're just completely free. And the first one is a brain dump. I love a good brain dump, getting all of those ideas out of my head onto paper. It just needs time and paper and a pen, which is pretty much free. So that is a really good place to start. So getting them all out onto paper, finding those connections can be incredibly helpful because I can see the kinds of topics that are coming up over and over again. And I can see and plan what I want my next steps to be. I also think there's something really powerful, at least for me, about the process of writing things down. It can help bring up things to the surface, things maybe I didn't think about. And again, when everything is written down, I can see all the different pieces and how they connect. So that's incredibly helpful for me. I usually do a big brain dump about once a week. If I haven't gotten to it longer than that, things start to feel really jumbled in my marketing and I start to get kind of lost. So that is incredibly helpful for me. Another thing that I cannot live without is a to-do list. I actually think my to-do lists are kind of like my secret superpower. And it is definitely the reason I can get as much done as I do without missing things, without forgetting things. It's because I write everything down. I use to-do lists every single day, and I cannot even tell you how good it feels to cross something off of my list when I've done it. It's so motivating, and I've also been known to complete a task that I forgot to add to my to-do list, then add it to my to-do list so that I can cross it off. I do know that some people really love time blocking and other methods of organizing their days. I've never been able to get those to work for me. What works best for me is a really focused to-do list so that I always know what I'm doing next throughout the day. For programs that you can use to stay organized, I'm going to share two. If you've tried the ones that I'm going to suggest and you prefer others, that's totally fine. I'm thrilled that there are so many options out there for us. The first one I'm going to say is Airtable. I use the Airtable in a couple of different ways, and I want to share it with you. And then I'll also share a couple of ways that I've helped clients use it. I like using Airtable as a way to keep track of referral partners and networking contacts that I've met because I can put all of their information in one easy place and make notes and follow up so that nothing gets lost. I also use it as a kind of content database to keep track of what I've created, where it lives, what kind of content it is, and how it connects to other pieces of content that I've created. Because as somebody who's been in business for over 15 years, I've created a lot of content. For clients, I've actually used it to help them set up an inventory database so they can keep track of what they've created, either physical products or, again, digital products. When I've worked with clients on big website projects, we've used Airtable to keep track of content updates and even site migrations that have been incredibly complicated, but Airtable made it a lot easier to keep track of every single step of the process. I think the biggest thing that I know about Airtable is that it can do so much. So if you're interested in Airtable, that is its own little rabbit hole that you can go down. There's some really great ideas out there. Another tool I really like is called ClickUp. Some people use Airtable and ClickUp interchangeably. Some people will use one and not the other, and some people like me use both at the same time. ClickUp is really great for creating SOPs, which is your systems and processes. I use it to keep track of ideas for content that I want to create, actual SOPs in my business, and other things that I do that have multiple steps that I don't necessarily do all the time. So having these written out and having basically a checklist I can always go back to saves me a lot of time. And again, I know that I'm not using it to its full capacity. Just like Airtable, it can do so much more than I'm using it for, but the ways that I'm using it, I'm really happy with. Both ClickUp and Airtable have raving fans. They just love the products. So you can go to Airtable or ClickUp's actual product page or find a creator here that you really like and deep dive with them on all of the cool things that those programs can do for your business. This next one may sound obvious, but one of the biggest challenges small businesses have when it comes to getting organized is they don't necessarily have goals, which often means they feel like they can't get organized because they don't know where to start, which then creates this cycle where they feel unorganized, but they don't know where to start. And if they just take a moment and think about what their long-term goals are, the direction they want their business to go in, and how all of the pieces of their marketing fit together, then they can start getting organized because they'll know the direction that they're going in. Once you have a marketing strategy, then you can build the content calendar and the next step so that you know what you're doing next. Planning your content and then following through is one of the best ways to stay organized in your business because you have goals, you have direction, and you can look at your analytics and you can see what's working and what's not working and then continue to build on success over time. And finally, rest and time off is crucial to staying organized. If you're frazzled, if you're overwhelmed, if you're distracted, you're not going to be able to keep the focus that you need for your business. So that not only are you dropping balls, you're not going to be able to stay focused on all of the things that you need to do. You also won't have the time or the capacity to learn the new things that you need to learn and take advantage of so that your business can grow. So take time off, go for a walk, do movement that you love, read the book that you want to read, have a hobby that you don't monetize. Find ways that you are resting your brain and recharging. Your business, I promise, will thank you for it. That's all I have for you today. If you have a tool that you love that I didn't mention, please drop it in the comments. I would love to hear how you're staying organized in your business.